We clean them up real nice.
Howdy folks, you on the C8's Speed 252 show. Scroll over to the right, click that subscribe button, and join this awesome community. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are on the MS Solutions website where you can win yourself this beautiful 2024 Corvette Z06 plus $20,000. This bad boy is awesome. I can tell you right now, the Z06 is absolutely amazing. This white Corvette Z06 with red calipers and black wheels look awesome in your garage. Here is your chance to win a 2024 Corvette Z06 while helping people diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I'm sure that we have all known someone that has been diagnosed with this in our lifetime, and here's a great cause to be a part of. You get an opportunity to donate to an amazing cause to win yourself a 2024 Corvette Z06 plus $20,000. And I'm telling you right now, there's a high chance you can actually win this car, because if you enter, it gives you a chance to win. But the 100% guaranteed is you will actually help out a good cause, which is something that is also very important as well. Again, click that link down in my description below or my pinned comment section. As you can see at the top, C8's 25 will get you 25 more bonus entries for your money, and actually for this drawing will give you a greater chance to win this 2024 Corvette Z06. You enter your information, click continue. Good luck, and if you win, let's get our Z06s together and have an awesome, amazing cruise to the Z06.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of C8's Speed 252, and thank you for joining this upload. Give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave your comment down below. Robert's going to give us all the information about this 2007 Corvette. Go for it, Robert.
All right, got an extremely rare bird here. When I say rare, Le Mans Blue wasn't rare as far as production numbers. You know, the Le Mans Blue color went from the 2004, of course, the Le Mans Special Edition in 04, last year to C5, carried over into the C6 and lasted until 2007 before it was replaced by Jetstream Blue in 2008. Well, what's rare about this is the mileage. How often do you see any of these older C6s with less than 5,000 break-in miles? I mean, you don't find them, except for maybe, you know, a handful of guys, you know, got them and just bought them and turned them into giant Hot Wheels. But, you know, beyond that, you know, seeing them out and about driving, I got one, you know, and this was an interesting find, you know, 3,500 miles. Now, it's a 1LT, it's a base, but again, Le Mans Blue, extremely popular. The lighting in here doesn't do it justice. You get it out in that sun, if you want to come up close, I mean, you'll see that metallic flake, it pops out, and it just brings that color to life. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'd say the closest, more modern color analogy to it would be the Admiral Blue, but the Admiral Blue in the C7 had a little bit more purple mixed in with that blue. This one is just a straight, almost like a, very similar to the navy blue that the C5 did during 2000, 2001.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but again, even though it's base, I mean, with that kind of mileage as you can expect, I mean, look at the interior. Look at the door sills. Look at the seat. I mean, just... what can you say? I mean, it is just absolutely fabulous.
Oh, it's pretty sharp.
Super low mileage. And again, when you get a base car like this, again, plus side to the lesser options. One, the car's a little lighter, you know, because you don't have some of that creature comforts. The base radio is easier to extract, and you can, you know, do aftermarket if you want to add backup cameras and Apple CarPlay and all that stuff. Exhaust, again, LS2 cars did not have the MPP exhaust, so it's ripe. The most popular one is the Corsa Extreme, you know, if they want to do an exhaust system. Boreless sound really good in the C6 too. I like the deep pitch. We did the red calipers. When the car came in, it had the standard. Really? Yeah, from factory it came in gray. And what we do is, you know, they get kind of dirty around here, so my guy takes off the wheel. We clean them up real nice. We spray paint this gray, so this is nice. Not the caliper, not the braking portion, just the rotor portion. And then we coat these. A lot of people say, does that interfere with anything? No, he tapes it off really good. It only affects the cosmetic visual appearance, doesn't affect the functionality. I know I had my guy actually do my personal vehicle, and I put 70,000 miles on it. I never had a braking issue, and when I changed my brakes, it didn't have an issue, and this was on my previous vehicle.
What's nice is it has chrome wheels, and we know chrome is coming back.
Yes, yeah, well, it comes in cycles. You know, they come, they go, they come, they go. You know, if anything, you know, if you think about it, the painted wheel thing kind of started in the late C6 with the Grand Sport, or C6, excuse me, the C4 with the Grand Sport. Remember when the C5 came out, they just had the painted wheels? They didn't really have a chrome option. but people were taking those, they call them the wagon wheel. Remember, they were taking them, and they were sending them out and having them chrome dipped.
Right.
You know, I mean, and we kind of went through this because back then you had the polished wheels and the painted wheels. Well, people were chrome dipping them.
True.
But then, you know, so they kind of make a comeback, then they kind of go away. I think it was in the C6 that you really saw a departure kind of go away from the chrome into the C7.
Right.
Yeah, you still had chrome, but then the black wheels started coming out with the contrast, and people were like, man, I really like that black. Yeah. You know? And then I still had some of the folks that were, you know, chrome true believers say, yeah, I see black wheels, I think of base wheels. I think of the wheels that are supposed to have covers on them and hubcaps, you know. So kind of a contrast, you know. Yeah. And of course, then you had cars that were blended. Like I had an old police car that had stainless chrome center caps and trim rings with the black inside. So the kind of the contrast kind of mixed. So, you know, it depends on the car. But this car at the time, chrome was the top option. Right. You know, because it was the most expensive. So you have a top option wheel on a base car, but again, you know, it goes well with the blue. The great thing about this color is whether you have a base, a polished, or chrome, it kind of goes with it. You know, sometimes you get a color that looks good on all of them. True. Usually torch red, victory red, that was the color that went well with all of them. Right. A darker blue, same thing. You kind of get the same effect because if you go with a black wheel, even let's just say you got a base wheel with black painted, it'll still go with it. You know? Right. But at the time, they didn't have a black wheel. What they had was the competition gray. They had the bright silver. You had the chrome. You know, you didn't have a black option. The black option didn't come till later. You know,
True. And I think, you know, chrome does look good on certain colors. Yes. You know? And that's just me. I think one color car with a chrome looks good on is red mist. Yes. It's just something about red mist and chrome. They just go well with each other. Right. And we see that, you know, like in the case of the C8s, you get a red mist. It's usually, you can't get a chrome wheel, so what they usually do is you get the bright polished sterling silver. Right. You know, or they go with the, or they just go with the base silver wheels, you know, and then, but I've seen them where they'll send either the Triton or the base silver and they'll send them out and get them powder coated. True. And then recently, if you see on my Rapid Blue sitting over there, I got the Machine Face 20 spoke. That's another one that kind of gives that bright look that'll be popular on a metallic car. Yeah. Although in this case, that one's ironically on a non-metallic paint. Car, yeah, but it still looks good. Yeah, sure. What does the motor look like under this bad boy?
Oh, yeah. So, of course, LS2. And again, with 3,000 miles, you can imagine the bay is immaculate. And people are going to ask, well, it's been sitting for a while. I mean, was it? Yes, it's all fine. Everything's running. All the injectors are clean. Fluids are good. You know, the filters and air box have been changed out. The battery is, of course, a recent change. You can see it. It's even got a date stamp on it. The battery is from July of 23. So yeah, we go through it. So, you know, people say, is the car been sitting so long? Is it going to have issues? No, we've already gone through that. It's good. Wouldn't put it out there if it wasn't. Yeah, so all the connectors, no codes, sensors are good.
This is clean.
Yeah.
Like.
And again, last year for the LS2 for the Vet. So LS2 kind of fell in between because they only did it 3 years before they went to the LS3. And of course, the LS1 had a real long run. So the LS2 kind of fell in between. But the LS2 was a really good block. It was used in the SSR, Cadillac CTS-V, a couple others, the Pontiac GTO, you know, and the Trailblazer SS. So, I mean, it had other applications that it was used in, you know, so.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a pretty clean car, man. Like I'm saying, a lot to you. You guys really do get good cars, and you're able to give other people who are interested in another car that's been owned by somebody else a good value. Yeah. And again, you know, performance-wise, you know, again, this was the first time. So, again, I know controversy time. The old adage, if you go back to the 90s, the old adage, what defined a supercar? And again, when we talk about supercar, we're not talking about exotic or rare, okay? It was performance, okay? Now, again, you had super sedans, you had super trucks, super SUVs, and some of those are fairly recent categories because back in the day, whether they qualified, they weren't really dressed as such until more recently. But, you know, you can look back and say, well, maybe for their time, you can adapt that modern standard to the old, but you know, the old classic definition, which is why the C4ZR1 fell in this category, was a two-seat sports car with at least either high 3 or 400 horsepower. True. You know, top speed, you know, getting over 170, you know, that kind of stuff. So here you got a base Corvette, 400 horsepower. It'll do 0 to 60 in the 4-second flat range. Right. It'll run the quarter mile in the mid to low 12s, and you had a top speed of 186. Right. I mean, that's a supercar. I'm sorry, that's a supercar. Now, by today, they go say, well, supercar for its time, adjusted for the standard. Okay, if you want to make that adjustment, that's fine. For its time,
right off the bat, this is what you could say was the first, C6 was the first generation where the base Corvette, right off the bat, was a supercar.
Oh, for sure.
Now, people say, well, the interior is too cheap, plastic, and they're too common. Well, last I checked, performance envelope has nothing to do with commonality, how expensive, or how fancy the interior was.
Sure.
Okay? That makes it exotic, that makes it expensive, that makes it, you know, rare, but that doesn't mean supercar.
Right.
Okay, see, last I checked, the element of a supercar was all based on performance.
Right.
People have lumped in these other categories. If you want my personal opinion, this is European media trying to isolate their cars from the rest of the market.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I don't yield to European media. I yield to what is fact.
What is
okay?
facts.
I'm sorry, okay? Just like everybody tried to say, you know, they got the automotive industry, media industry got in this little clique about, you know, that during the 70s and 80s about American car interiors being crap, and they just never let it go. No matter how many improvements American cars made, and in, especially nowadays, I'm sorry, I've sat in cars that they said had great interiors, and you sit in its American equivalent, and I don't see much of a difference. I see just as much plastic and vinyl in some of the Asian or European counterpoints as they do American cars, unless you get into a really high price point, which in that case, okay, go over to Cadillac. Well, guess what? What do you see? Less plastic, more leather.
Yeah, true.
So your point is moot. This is outdated bias.
Right.
Okay. This is also, you know, uppity, you know, European brands trying to push themselves to say, well, we're a supercar because we're rare or we're high priced, or you have to sign these documents. They say you can't do this to get that Ferrari name badge. Well, what does that have to do and put up and shut up if you're out on the road racing each other?
That's true.
Or on the racetrack?
That's true.
Answer, nothing.
Nothing.
Okay? Sorry. If that offends you,
that's true.
That's my take
that's facts, my man.
As a 40-year-old audio enthusiast, since I was a little kid watching all this stuff. I've seen it. I've done it. Take it for what it is. I'm one man. I have my opinion. You disagree, that's totally fine.
That's true, man. I appreciate you, Robert, for giving us that information and showing this beautiful Le Mans 2007 Corvette. And guys, give this video a thumbs up again. Leave your comments down below and hit that subscribe button. And Robert, we thank you so much.